You are feeling better, don't you? Says Ash with smile. She places her hand on the Zorua's belly and gave her a belly rub which she likes a lot. I think we have to go now. Take care and stay safe, says Ash as Mewtwo opened the entrance of the cave and saw the big layer of the snow that covered the field. It's a new big day, says Ash. Let's go guys, says Ash as he recalled his Lucario back in the orb. I don't know why but this human is a friend that I deserve, thought Zorua. Zorua yells grabbing Ash's attention. I don't know how to say this but can I join you, asks Zorua. You want to join me, but why, asks Ash. You helped me, that's why, says Zorua. Both of them stood still and looked at each other before Ash smiled and caught her successfully in a Pokeball. Come out, says Ash sending his new Pokemon out. Glad to have you on my team. I hope we can start a new friendship and be the best team, says Ash, at which Zorua nodded and took her in a deep hug once again. I am glad that you accepted me as a friend, says Ash. If you don't mind, can I recall you in Pokeball, asks Ash. Sure, says Zorua. Ash and Lucario arrives near Lake Acuity and they saw none other than Dratini, who was looking sad and shivering in cold. Hey, are you alright? Asks Ash politely, causing the little dragon to look at Ash in happiness. Dratini jumped at Ash and nuzzled him. Do I know you? Asks Ash. Yeah, I am the same Dratini that you battled yesterday, says Dratini. Wait, did that Dominus released you? Asks Ash. Yes, he said I didn't performed well, says Dratini. No Pokemon starts strong. We need to devote time in training and he needs to understand it, says Ash as he paused and says, do you mind if I take you in my team? I know how strong your final can become. To Ash's surprise, Dratini agreed to become his team member. I have to catch you in order to make you my team member, says Ash as he caught Dratini after taking her permission. That's so mean, how could that Dominus do that? Asks Arita, who was furious. Guys, I need to go. I have to battle the other 5 top trainers of your clan, says Ash. I know you will do well, says Akari. The good thing is that Dratini is with me but she needs little rest, said Ash as he looked at Dratini, who was covered in blanket. Dratini, you are safe here, so take rest, okay? And don't move too much. Pikachu and Eevee, why don't you guys stay here and take care of your new team member, says Ash. Sure, we will do that and defeat all of them, says Eevee. Ash is now standing opposite to Ken. Are you ready, Ash? Says Ken. I am more than ready, says Ash. Let's make it 2 versus 2 considering you have to battle 5 of us, says Ken as Ken sends his first Pokemon, which is a Gallade. Time to shine, Ceruledge, says Ash, revealing a new Pokemon. What kind of Pokemon is this? Asks Ken as everyone got confused. Ceruledge, are you ready to battle? Asks Ash. More than ever, says Ceruledge as he surrounded in flames. Gallade, start with Psycho Cut, says Ken. Ceruledge, you know what to do, says Ash as Ceruledge surrounded by ghostly flames and then disappeared like a blur. Where did it disappeared? Asks Ken. Right behind Gallade, says Ash as Gallade looked behind and saw Ceruledge appeared, and just before Gallade could act, Ceruledge already striked Gallade with dual fire blades and appear behind Gallade. Gallade stood still with its motionless body and then it fell unconscious. What was that? Says Ken as he can't believe on his eyes. Nice job, Ceruledge. You are stronger than ever, says Ash. That was fun, says Ceruledge as Ash recalled him back in Pokeball. That was unpredictable, an unknown Pokemon, and it defeated my Pokemon quickly. It seems defeating Dominus was a pure skill, says Ken. My next Pokemon is, says Ken, releasing his Lucario. Let's make this an equal competition, says Ash, sending out his own white Lucario. I must say you have very rare Lucario. We don't find white Lucario in wild, says Ken. It hatched from egg, says Ash as the battle started between the 2 Lucario. Both Lucario glowed blue and then created the staff in the form of rotated the staff before charging at each other and clashed bones made out of aura like a staff and then starts exchanging attacks. Ash's Lucario then fired the aura sphere which Ken's Lucario sent back with the kick and then launched a powerful Shadow Ball. Ash's Lucario created aura blades and then cut Shadow Ball in two halves that destroyed after few seconds. Ken's Lucario then rushed towards Ash's Lucario with aura and then started to use close. Lucario throws a punch at Ash's Lucario. Ash's Lucario brings his hand forward stopping the punch without any difficulty. Your punches are weak. Let me show what a real punch is, said Ash's Lucario as punch covered in dark aura and then started to land barrage of punches on Lucario straight in the abdomen making Ken's Lucario spit saliva from his mouth. Well, your punches are great, but let me show you what I can do, said Ken's Lucario as he wiped the saliva from his covered in aura and dashed at Ash's Lucario with the Lucario also strikes its punch against Ken's Lucario's sending a shockwave across the which Lucario assaulted Ash's Lucario with punches but Ash's Lucario is countering every punches with its own. Lucario did back flips and then launched the powerful Lucario then covered itself in aura and then launched the combo of aura sphere and flash cannon. Both attacks collides causing explosion. Both Lucario continued exchange of attacks until both of them are heavily tired and now final attack will decide the fate of the battle. Both Lucario put their energy in last attack, aura sphere and pushed the attack at each other until Ash and Lucario become one and Lucario's aura sphere got bigger and powerful. Ash's Lucario then overpowered Ken's Lucario which results into a victory. Ash then battled the other four trainers in a 2-on-2 battle and secured victory against them. Post-festival, Ash and Akari are back to Jubilife Village. Right now, he is in office of Commander Kamado. I have next orders for you, said Kamado. You have to quell another noble Pokémon, Electrode, said Adaman. I got it, said Ash. So are you ready to quell the Electrode? Asked Adaman. You are not allowed to go there, said a new voice as a new person enters the hall. Melly, what are you doing here? Asked Adaman. When it comes to Noble Electrode, I am the warden to it and you are discussing about it without me. First of all, why we need to quell them, said Melly. Because Pokémon in frenzied state are more dangerous for the other Pokémon and people. We have the cases when frenzied Pokémon killed the people, said Kamado. That's bullshit. Power granted by frenzying is a blessing granted by Almighty Sinnoh to protect the Diamond Clan and Hisui region, said Melly. But we already discussed about it and there is nothing we can discuss about it, said Adaman. Do you really think that this little noodle can quell Noble Electrode? Said Melly. Warden Melly, we know how responsible and strong you are, but Ash is also strong and responsible. Galaxy Survey Team will help you in quelling the Noble Electrode, said Kamado. Ash and Adaman did a battle in which Ash emerges victorious. But it still didn't prove me that he is a better person to quell Frenzy Electrode, said Melly. What else you need? Asked Adaman, annoyed with Melly's distrust towards his view. Ash is a complete stranger, but Adaman know how trustworthy Ash is. Just because you defeated Adaman makes you trustworthy for quelling Noble Electrode, said Melly as he walked away. Sorry for that, he don't trust anyone so easily, said Adaman. No worries, said Ash. Now, I think our helper from the Pearl Clan was going to meet you at the training ground once you're ready. Glad to have your help as always, said Adaman. Ash, said Sillin from behind. Join me in the Survey Corps office. We'll go through the particulars of your new mission, said Sillin. Ash is now standing in front of Sillin. Your survey work will take you to the Coronet Highlands. You will be on the Rift's doorstep. There is no telling what perils await, said Sillin. Now, tell me your progress, said Sillin as Ash showed his Pokédex, which is completed 60%. Nice. Considering your progress and feedback from Diamond and Pearl Clan, I increased your rank to 4, said Sillin. Go ahead and start your survey work. But, you will need help from a particular person to survey and ultimately quell the electrode, said Sillin. Who is that? Asked Ash. Go to the training grounds. You will find them there, said Sillin. Hello Ash, said Arita. This gentleman is Warden Ingo, who serves Sneasler. He will guide you to her domain, said Arita. Pleased to meet you and I apologize for the abrupt. How are you doing? Asked Ingo. I am doing good, said Ash. It seems you need help from Sneasler to meet Electrode. Whether she'll see fit to help you, however, we can only find out by making the journey, said Ingo. Now let's have a safe journey to MT. Coronet. All aboard, said Ingo. Ingo is a bit like you, said Arita. How so? Asked Ash. He appeared in Hisui one day out of nowhere. We saved him from drowning in the ocean, but he lost his most of the memory. Maybe traveling with you help him in rackling his lost memory, said Arita. Hello Arita, Ash and Ingo, said Akari and Laventon from behind. Hey guys, are you ready to reach Coronet Highlands? Asked Ash. We are ready, said Akari. With the help of Ingo and Sneasler, Ash reached Moonview Arena. You finally reached here, I am impressed. Welcome to Moonview Arena, the seat of Lord Electrode. I know I've not exactly been supportive of you reaching this place, but a part of me did hope you'd make it. Call me contradictory all you like, Galaxy grunts, but such is life. Embracing the complexity of both ourselves and the world can only help us grow. As a member of the Diamond Clan, my highest calling is to please Almighty Sinnoh. And right now, that means I must protect my lord by stopping you where you stand. Says Melly as. Ash is not impressed with what Melly is doing. If you still wish to defeat me and gain entry to Electrode's seat, you and your little Pokemon are welcome to give it your best shot. Let's go, Skuntank. Give them another whiff of your silent deadliness. Says Melly as he sends his Pokemon. Ash then quickly defeated Melly because his Pokemon knows more moves than Melly's Pokemon and the training they did for long duration against his experienced Pokemon. Let's make one thing clear. I didn't lose. You may have won. But there's a difference. Melly says. I just lacked air time. Yes, I'm afraid there simply wasn't enough time for me to raise my Pokemon nice and strong. That's why I have been telling you about time being a precious thing. Adaman says as he walked towards the Ash and Melly. You want to make bombs for Electrode? Asked Melly. Yes, but for that we need to know what it likes, said Ash. But I won't tell you, said Melly. Why? Asked Ash. Because I have completely forgotten what Electrode likes. Melly says. What should we do about you, Melly? Said Adaman holding his head. What's the matter? Upset. Too bad anger doesn't make bombs. Said Melly in a mocking tone. Adaman says, you're really giving them the run around, aren't you? He turns to Ash. I guess it's my fault for not telling you in advance what Electrode likes. So here's the. Melly realizes that Adaman also knows what Electrode likes, and he says, Adaman. What now? Adaman is annoyed. I could hear you just now, you know. Are you really going to tell this little noodles what they need to find? Just like that. Lest we all forget, you're the leader of the Diamond Clan. Why do you bother with this galaxy louts? Use your eyes, Melly. Haven't you even looked at your frenzied lord? Adaman asks. Don't you feel even a twinge at how it suffers, fighting to control the energy that's bursting out of it? I see nothing but a Pokemon overcome with joy at being among Almighty Sinnoh's chosen ones. Melly replies. Anyway, it's not like trials and suffering are always cause for doom and gloom. These things exist to help us grow. I'm sorry, Melly. I can't write off these frenzies as some trial from Almighty Sinnoh. Adaman frowns. That's why I'm doing the best I can to help out Ash here. This is bigger than what team or clan we belong to. Oh, and by the way, I wasn't just going to tell them that he needs crunchy salt. I was going to go right ahead and give it to Ash. Now it's time to make some bombs. So lend a hand. Both of you. Adaman says. Fine. At the end of the day, let none say that the great Melly shirked his duties as warden. I'll help make your precious bombs. Melly frowns. After making a couple of the bombs, Melly says. There. I made you a practically infinite supply of bombs, so chuck all you like at Electrode. But don't underestimate my lord's strength. I very much doubt the likes of you can quell it. Be careful, Ash. Lord of the Hollow has its allies and you have to defeat them first, said Adaman. Ash walk into the Moonview arena, as he look around to see that there is nothing but a big tree. Near the tree, Alpha Electrode is guarding the tree. As soon as Ash enters it saw him and charged towards Ash. Soon tree started to shake and multiple Electrode falls from it. Lucario. Pikachu, get ready, said Ash as he sends his Lucario out. As Electrode and Voltorb are using rapid spin, Lucario used his aura to create a wall which is strong enough to stop the two Pokémon. Pikachu then used Iron Tail on both Pokémon to dealt good damage. Ash also sends his fire-type Volcanora and Torkoal. Electrode and Voltorb are using the blasts of electricity. Lucario is using his aura to save his team members while they are using Flamethrower on Electrode and Voltorb. Volcanora and Torkoal are using Fire Spin on the two grass types, causing great trying for 10 minutes. Ash and his team defeated Voltorb and Alpha Electrode. Ash used Pokeball to capture Alpha Electrode. Just then, another giant ball falls off the tree and creates the shockwave to send Voltorbs flying. So that's the Frenzy Electrode. Ash says. Lord of the Hollow. Pikachu, Lucario and everyone get ready, said Ash's Electrode released shockwaves that hit fainted Voltorb. Post-shockwave hit Voltorb, they all came to life and then all Voltorb spin towards Ash and his Pokémon and surrounded them. All Voltorb used Electroball that exploded. Thanks to Lucario they are safe and Ash's Pokémon countered back with Fire-type and Poison-type attacks that did good damage. However, Electrode used Electro Ball with self-destruct which Pikachu and Lucario stopped and retaliated with Dragon Pulse and Focus Blast. Pikachu used Iron Quake to dealt huge amount of damage. Soon all Voltorb are fainted and only Electrode is left. Electrode is firing Electro Ball which Lucario and Pikachu are deflecting back with Iron Tail and Bone Rush. As Electro Ball connect with the Iron Tail and Bone Rush, it explodes causing massive damage to Pikachu, Ash and Lucario. Ash recalled his Pokémon back to Pokeball as he formulated the plan to distract Electrode. He sends his Crobat out to handle Electrode. This battle sure is amusing. Melly says. He won't stand a chance against the Lord, though. If there is something happening to Ash, I'll let you pay for it. Melly. Adaman threatens, which causes Melly to stop snickering. Why so care for that little noodle, said Melly. You won't understand. Leave it, said Adaman. As Ash's Pokémon are busy in distracting Electrode, Ash throws bombs at Electrode. He can see that the bombs are doing good effect on Electrode. Lucario used Psychic to hold Electrode, says Ash's Lucario nodded. Ash's Lucario and Pikachu are overpowering Electrode and Ash is throwing bombs. After struggling for 10 minutes, Ash aimed at Electrode to throw the set of remaining bombs. To Ash's surprise, Electrode get back and used Shockwave that teared up the arena, sending massive rocks flying at the Ash and his Pokémon. Ash's Pokémon destroyed rocks. Electrode then used Rapid Spin. As Electrode is spinning towards them, Pikachu jumped higher in the air before landing on Electrode and started to use Iron Tail to stop him. Lucario is also helping Pikachu by sending Aura Wave at the Electrode. Once Electrode is stopped, Lucario jumped on Electrode and started to run, making it rotate in reverse direction, causing dizziness to Electrode. Ash's Pokémon are using their attacks to deal good damage. Once they are assured, Ash and Pikachu used bombs causing glow on Electrode to fade away. Lord of the Hollow is calm now, said Adaman. Thanks for helping me, and as a reward I present you, said Electrode as he gave them the zap plate. After Electrode rolls away, Melly frowns. Oh, for shame. What utter calamity. They turn to see him kneel and he mutters, I agreed to make those accursed bombs, yes. But now that Almighty Sinnoh's precious blessing has vanished forever, it's just so unbearably sad. Is that how you see it? Electrode looks relieved to me. Glad its sufferings ended, probably. Adaman says. Oh, come on, Adaman. Seriously. That's just your wishful thinking, nothing more. Melly says. All your preaching doesn't ruffle me one bit, but if Almighty Sinnoh grows angry with me because of this, I don't know what I'll do. Looks like I arrive, right on schedule. Just then, Ingo and Akari comes, and Melly asks. Ingo, what are you doing here? I am able to recall few things about the world from where me and Ash came from. We are from the world where we live with Pokemon in harmony. We don't consider them as threat, instead we see them as companion, said Ingo. We are like family members, though there are wild Pokemon in future, but we all are dependent on each other. Pokemon in our world help us in different sectors. From construction to security. We work with them to understand the world of Pokemon. There are Pokemon researchers like Professor Laventon who are studying different fields of Pokemon, said Ash. True. When human works with Pokemon they are called as trainers, who are ready to take any challenge to grow stronger, said Ingo. I didn't know such world can exist, said Adaman. I just realized, said Melly, that not only my Pokemon, but I need to get stronger too, said Melly. Right, but for that you have to open your ears to listen opinions of others and keep your mouth shut. In short, you should respect the decision of others, said Adaman. Just think about it, is that rift is kind of a test to make us work with Pokemon, understanding them and consider them as a companion rather than an enemy. All the events that are happening, does that mean we should understand the wild Pokemon and befriend them, said Akari. We don't know, but we will figure out what Almighty Sinnoh wants to tell us, said Adaman. Right, said Ash. After quelling Noble Electrode, Ash and Akari starts capturing new team members. Akari caught a Bronzor, Hisui and Gudra, Steelix, Magnezone, Nosepass, Scyther, Gibble, Chimco, Sneasel, Hisui and Sneasel. Gliscor, Misdreavus, Rotom, Voltorb, Clefairy, Elekid, Whiscash. Ash caught mainly alpha version of the new captures includes Rampardos, Bastiodon, Sylveon, Electivire, Mismagius, Probopass, Rotom. Next day onwards, after quelling Noble Electrode, Ash and his Pokemon started their training. Ash follows the same regiment and started working on removing their weaknesses. Every day Ash wake up at 4 in the morning and meditate along with his Pokemon. After that he do some weightlifting, cardio, strength building exercises. Post that Ash rest for 3 hours for meal and then resume their training. In later sessions he worked on move tutoring and mock battles with newly learned moves. For strength and endurance he asks Pokemon to attack other team members with low power and then increase power behind attack gradually. Training for the full month improved the endurance of his Pokemon drastically, increased speed, strength and attack accuracy. Ash also worked on creating move combinations like adding the fighting type moves with ground type moves. Rock Smash combined with Earthquake can deal damage 5 times the normal attack. Lucario helped his Pokemon friends on how to manipulate aura and create various aura weapons like chains, whip, katana, shield and infuse multiple attacks together. Ash is also learning on how to do aura tricks like Aura Sphere. Lucario on other hand is trying various aura techniques which includes aura absorption, aura attacks, aura charging, aura combat, aura constructs, aura flight, aura infusion, aura solidification, life force conversion, life force factor manipulation. Ash is now training with Lucario. Akari and Laventon are observing Ash as they are also contributing in completing Pokédex. Now focus on your aura and try to lift your body, says Lucario. Okay, said Ash as he closed his eyes, cleared his thoughts, and he can feel the force around him. As he concentrated, his body become lighter and the miracle happened. He is floating 10 feet in the air. Way to go, Ash, says Akari as Ash opened his eyes. Guys, look, I am, says Ash as his aura disappeared and he crashed on the ground. Crashed, said Ash as he get back on its feet. You need to focus, Ash, says Lucario, hitting Ash with Aura Whip. Lucario is right, Ash. You can't be so overconfident, says Pikachu. I will remember it, says Ash. Now what's the next step? Asks Ash, rubbing his head. We will work on aura combat. Users of this ability are able to combine their aura with their physical combat skill, allowing them to either augment any of their body parts as well as their physical condition or simply use the aura for any other defensive or offensive purpose, says Lucario. Didn't got you, says Ash. Look at this, said Lucario as he picks one pebble from the ground and then glowed blue before throwing it at the biggest mountain cliff. The pebble travel like a supersonic missile and strike the edge, turning it into dust. What the hell? How did you done that? Asks Ash in complete shock. I just transferred the energy of Rock Smash and Focus Blast to it before throwing. As a result, energy transferred to the cliff edge and it destroyed the cliff edge, said Lucario. Watch this, said Lucario as he concentrated on aura and strikes kicks and punches in the air, which releases the energy causing trees break apart. For now we will work on this much. Trying other techniques may drain your aura completely, said Lucario. For next 2 months Ash his Pokemon trained. Ash's new Pokemon become strong in terms of speed, endurance, defense, attack accuracy, attack power and battle techniques. The next day Ash was told about Rampage of last Noble Frenzy Pokemon, Noble Avalugg. Ash, Akari and Arita then met Garrick where Garrick and Ash did another battle and Ash defeated him once again this time. So where is the Noble Avalugg? Garrick told that we will find it here, said Ash to Pikachu. I am not sure, but it should be here. Why don't you see with your aura? Said Pikachu as all of sudden ice beneath them started to shake. Ash and Pikachu started to run as the ground beneath them started to crack and ground started to shake, causing the earthquake of magnitude 7. As they maintained a good distance, their eyes widened. That's 30 feet tall Avalugg that I never saw in my entire life, said Pikachu. That's because we've never been thrown hundreds of years in the past, said Ash as he dodged the missiles of ice launched by Avalugg. Avalugg is constantly launching the ball of ice at Ash, which he is struggling to evade. We need aerial help, said Ash as he sent out his Charizard. Charizard flew high in the air and then striked back at Avalugg's back with Flare Blitz, but Avalugg's back glowed white as it released icy wind, making Charizard frozen in the block of ice. Once Charizard get free from the ice block, he used full power Inferno, causing Avalugg to scream in pain. Stay calm, Avalugg. We are here to help you out, says Ash as he throws Bomb at the Avalugg. As soon as Bomb hit Avalugg, it was immediately consumed by the Avalugg. As Avalugg is launching multiple ice balls which Ash is dodging effectively. Charizard keep distracting Avalugg, says Ash as Charizard nodded and then launched Fire Blast that hit Avalugg, causing severe damage to it. Avalugg, take this, says Ash as he threw another bomb. Avalugg looked at Ash and launched another. All attack stopped in mid-air. When Ash turned, he saw none other than Mewtwo, who was stopping the attack. Thanks, Mewtwo. Can you use your psychic attack to hold Avalugg at one place so that we can calm him down, says Ash. Sure, says Mewtwo. Ash then throw remaining bombs on Avalugg, which is working on Avalugg. That's the final one, said Ash as the bomb hit Avalugg, causing the glow faded. Once the golden glow vanished, Ash then approached Avalugg and gave him the berries that would heal him completely. Sorry, Avalugg, for attacking you, but we want to get rid of that golden glow because it may lead to an unforeseen event of destruction. All we wanted to stop the disaster, said Ash. I understand, human, and for that I am grateful for your act. Thank you for saving me from that unusual energy. As a result, I give you this, said Avalugg as a plate appears in front of Ash. Icicle plate, said Ash. Arita, Adaman and Garrick walked towards the Ash. Congratulations, Ash, said Adaman, but Garrick is not looking good. Arita notices Garrick's head lowering and says, Garrick, sir, you needn't look quite so downcast. But seeing mighty Avalugg quelled, and by such slight children. Garrick mutters, a child that arrive out of nowhere. Is Ash some kind of monster in disguise? He is no monster. Arita shakes her head. He is the ones who risked his life without a second thought in order to quell our frenzied, suffering nobles, says Adaman. After healing Ash, Adaman walked towards Arita and Garrick. Arita says, Ash. Garrick cares for the Pearl clan with all his heart and believes in Almighty Sinnoh just as deeply. So he has feared more than any of us that getting involved with the Diamond Clan and your Galaxy team could cause our people to flag in their devotion to Almighty Sinnoh. But that will change. Sabi also arrives at the arena with the help of Braviary, and Adaman turns to Ash. I knew you could pull that off, Ash. You quelled every last frenzied noble. So is that space-time rift going to start closing up now or what? Arita says, there's little way of knowing for sure. Though the rift does seem perhaps a little smaller, somehow. Let's hope so, anyway. Adaman says. Well, with any luck, things will settle down now. Although even if the rift does start spitting out more of that strange lightning, we should still be alright as long as we've got Ash. Indeed we should be. It's good to have them at our side. Arita says. Adaman turns to Arita and says, you know something, Arita. We may never agree on who's got it right about Almighty Sinnoh, but you Pearl Clan folk aren't all bad in my book. Look who's finally seen reason. Arita smiles. Anyway, now that we've quelled the last noble, I say we pay grim old Commander Kamado a visit and see if he'll finally crack a smile for us. Adaman says. Ash, thanks a lot for what you are doing for people of Hisui, says Adaman. After returning to base camp of Alabaster Islands, Ash reported the mission status to Laventon and post that Ash and Akari started their task of capturing every Pokémon at the Alabaster Islands. Ash caught Alpha Mamoswine, Sneasel, Espeon, Glaceon, Abomasnow, Gardevoir, Gallade and Braviary. Akari caught Snorunt, Mamoswine, Bergmite, Snover and Rufflet. Ash and Akari then returned back to Jubilife Village.